Rent-to-rent service accommodation, what is this strategy in property? I'm sure you may have heard a lot about it, I'm sure you might want to learn more about it, but it's where you take a property like this, you give the landlord their rent, you furnish the property to a high standard, and you make money from the property itself. So in this video today, we're going to break down all of the key things that you need to know about this property strategy. So I think first of all, you've got to understand, where does the money go? Because a lot of people might understand this strategy, but not really understand how you make money and how things actually work. So obviously there is a property on the market for rent. A landlord wants a specific amount of rent for this. Take this property, for example, we pay £1,500 a month to rent this property. We take charge of the gas, electricity, the Wi-Fi, the bills, the council tax, all of these things we have to factor into our costs. So for this particular property, it costs us about £250 to £300 to run this property. So we've got £1,500 rent, we've got £300 in bills. We're looking at £1,800 so far. And obviously when we have guests in this property, which the guests normally pay for the cleaning, but we have to get the property cleaned regularly as well. If we're going to look at longer term guests, which we will go on to in a little bit, then we might be getting the property cleaned twice a month. So let's say that's £200 right there. So all in here, we're looking around £2,000 to £2,100 a month to run and operate this property. If we put this onto a platform like Airbnb and Booking.com, we might make £120 to £140 a night, which is going to leave us with around £3,700 to £4,000 a month that we can make if we're fully occupied in this property. Can you kind of put this together? So we're looking at making around £1,000 to £1,500 profit depending on where the occupancy levels are. Obviously there's other costs that you need to take into account, and other people don't really talk about this. There's the accounting costs for running your business, there's setting up the systems and the channel management and the different systems you use to manage the bookings day in and day out. These are all really important things to consider as well. The more that you scale your business, the more that these prices are subsidised because you've got multiple units running within your business that are subsidising all these costs. So the next thing that we need to consider is actually the legal side of things, because if you, as an average person watching this video, if you wanted to rent a property off me and we signed an agreement in your personal name, then you are on a standard, a short hold tenancy agreement. And subletting on these types of agreement is illegal. You're not allowed to do it. So one thing that is key, you've got to make sure that you're doing this in the right way, and we do this through what we classify as a company lease agreement. So you yourself need to be a director of a company. It's really, really easy to set this up, but you need to create a company which has a lease agreement with the landlord, and then you can then, in that lease, say that you have the right to use this property as a short-term rental property to make money from it. So making sure that you've got the company set up and everything working the right way is really, really vital for this. And when it comes to the contracts, you need to make sure that they're saying all the right things to give you the right permissions to allow you to do this. So once you've got a property, I'm not saying that that part's easy, but once you've got the property, you need to be able to stage it and make sure that it's absolutely ready to go. So what does this include? With serviced accommodation, people are paying the premium for the fact that these properties are fully ready to live in. So as you can see, a property like this, 2 single beds here, you've got towels, you've got full bedding, you've got a TV in the corner here, you've got coat hangers on a hanging rail, and down in the kitchen, you've got kitchen appliances that it means that you can turn up and you can cook any food that you want to cook. This is vital and this is key, and this is why we get the premium that we get, because people can show up with a suitcase and they can use this property to live in straight away. So with the fact that we don't have any minimum stays, if you went to an estate agent and you wanted to stay in a property like this for a month, you wouldn't be able to do it. Their minimum stays are normally 6 months. So when we are offering people this service, not only are we charging a premium for that, but it gives us the ability to make money from these properties. And I hope that you can see how all this is coming together and how the business model actually works. But this is where, if you've watched any videos on service accommodation in the past, you might find that people stop telling you about the key part of the business. What I've told you about so far is about the A to T. This is how you acquire the property, how you get it ready to live in. One of the key things that a lot of people miss is how do then you actually operate this property to make consistent and sustainable income. This is the T to Z. This is the important bit, because at the end of the day, if you take a property on, I am completely aware that you're just taking on a big liability. These leases that you normally sign are a 3 to 5 year lease. That is a big risk, and you need to be able to make sure that this property is filled. So this is why when I work with people, I don't just teach them how to acquire properties like this, how to get everything set up legally, making sure the right contracts are in place, making sure that they can stage things in the right way, but how to actually make these properties make money. And this is absolutely vital. Your marketing, What are the right type of people that you want to actually stay in the property? Are these types of people going to stay for a shorter period of time or a longer period of time? Are they going to want a TV in each one of the bedrooms? Are they going to want a coffee machine in the house? It's absolutely vital to know who you're marketing the property to. Because if you put it on Airbnb and Booking.com, yes, there's a chance that you're going to make money. If you don't have the right strategy, it's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to help you create consistent income. So pairing all these things together, knowing who your clients are, knowing what types of properties to target, knowing how to speak to landlords, getting the contracts and everything sorted, furnishing a property to a good standard, and then marketing it properly are all vital to make sure that this business works. You'll see a lot of people come into the market and they will then leave the market very, very quickly, 6 months to a year. The people that are staying in the market and creating a sustainable business model are the people that are doing it correctly, and these are the people I'm helping. So if you have booked a call in with me, I'm really looking forward to chatting to you. If you haven't already and you want to know a little bit more about how I help people get started in the world of service accommodation, then definitely hit the link below this video. You can book in a call, or you can even jump on our free school community where every Wednesday night, 8 until 9 o'clock, we run a free mastermind where you can come, absorb some of the information, hear from other people that are actually running the properties and running their businesses, and you can get as much value from that as you put into it as well. So I look forward to speaking to you guys a little bit further. Hopefully I see you on one of the mastermind calls, or I'll speak to you on one of our one-to-one calls soon. I'll catch you in a bit.